Welcome back to the Sports Show. Time to get to the Southern Footy League, and as always, the Prez has been good enough to give us some of his time. Craig, how are you, mate?
Thanks for having me.
Mate, it's not too far away. April 10th, footy's come out. Start to smell the ointment, mate. Is it starting to get the tingles?
Yeah, very much so. All the clubs are into pre-season trial games over the next couple of weeks, leading into have a break over Easter, of course, and then straight into it.
We had the Cobras coach in last week.
Yeah, Ray O'Donnell.
He would have had his first training session probably, last week as well?
Yes.
How'd he go, mate? How'd it go with the Cobras?
Very well, apparently. 40-odd people out on the track,
Oh,
so he was very impressed with that. So took a bit of getting used to, but he'll do all right down there, I think. I really will.
Yeah, mate, he comes in late, doesn't he? He comes in late.
He does,
Yeah.
and it's always going to be a hard gig when you get that call at that particular time of the year, as you blokes certainly know. But he's got the mental. He's been around football long enough to know that it's not going to be an easy gig, and the support that he'll get from behind the scenes at that club will be fantastic. And you can speak to that, Barry, in regards to blokes like Barry Ramsey and Chris Galley
and co. Yeah.
So he'll get plenty of support leading into what will be an interesting season for him.
And from what I hear, we've had a few players actually come back to the club at Co.
Yeah.
Purely because there's a new coach and
Yes.
new setup, and here we
Yep.
go. So a few of the
Looking forward to it.
fair players have come back to the club.
Yeah, very much
So he'd
so.
be happy with that. He'd be delighted with that.
Absolutely.
Hey, mate, Flaggy's dominated again last year. There are a couple of sleepers. The Spies tell me Ranella and Christie's have recruited pretty well. Have you got a couple you think are going to surprise this season?
Well, yeah, as I say, Christie's and Ranella, from what I'm led to believe, have recruited very, very well. They'll bridge that gap with Flaggies, but of course, strong clubs always attract stronger recruits, as you know.
Yep.
Flaggies have also picked up a couple as well, so it promises to be. Well, they've lost a couple to Kangarilla and whatever, who weren't getting adequate time as they saw it. So they've gone off to Kangarilla, so that's opened up a couple of vacancies. But when you've got a club that's as strong as they are, from juniors all the way through.
It just keeps building.
It'll just keep building.
So Ranella did that last year, though. I know, I'm involved a bit because Billy's down there, so I've got a bit of a link to him. But they played a lot of young kids last year, and they developed really well and came on strong at the last part of the year. So you had some recruits in.
Yep.
You'd suspect that they'd be finals bound or dangerously close this year.
I would say they'd be in the top four.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Wow, that's
this
cool.
year.
Yeah, that's cool.
On the back of COVID, things seem to have, you guys did a great job, things seem to be rolling along pretty nicely. I keep hearing more and more women landing on your doorstep to play footy.
They are, which is a good thing. Our clubs have well and truly embraced the advent of girls and women's footy. To that extent, as I said, I want to mention last week, as part of our process going forward, we now run an under-15 girls academy. Alongside the boys under 15 academy that we also run. But as part of our association weekend with Great Southern this year, they've also incorporated a junior women's grade. So we'll have under 15 boys, under 17.5 girls, under 17.5 boys, senior women and senior men for the association game at Strathalbyn.
With the Great Southern League, you have a men's competition every year. You get into them. You're going to do the same with the women?
Yeah, well, that's part of it. That's
part
what
of
we're saying. They'll form
but
part
just
of
a senior,
that particular day.
Way...
No, the two boys teams, a girls team, and a senior women, senior men, all on the one day.
All on the one day.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big day. Whose turn is it this year with the?
Well, they're hosting, but I'm pretty confident we'll
stitch them up.
Well, we seem to play all right at Strathalbyn.
Do you sneakily go down and have a look at their women's team? How are they going?
Well, certainly the coaches will do their homework, you would think.
Yeah, because there's a bit of a rivalry there, isn't there, with you guys? I know you're very good friends with the Great Southern Prez and whatever, but there's a bit of rivalry there, isn't there?
Well,
between the two leagues.
It's a bit like Port and Norwood. You know where they would both sit in the pecking order, so to speak. Yeah. So it makes for an interesting day's footy.
Hey, mate, we're going to get Robbie Neal a little bit later on. I want to ask him the same question, the high performance manager for the SANFL for women. Have you been surprised by the mass number of women that have come to footy?
Yeah, we have. We've had to put in another grade this year. So what we do in the Southern Footy League, we now run under 11s, under 13s, under 15s, under 17 and a halves, and senior women, because the girls have decided we used to have them play in our 8s, 10s, and 12s, our mixed, what we call our mini league group. The girls have said to us, no, we want our own competition, and we want a pathway through it. So we've been able to accommodate them. And gee, when you look at what's coming through the system now, that we've got girls that are now going to South Adelaide. We've had Nikki Gore, who got drafted by the Crows this year, or 2 years ago. Unfortunately, she did an ankle. But another one that's come through that system from Christie's Beach is Leah Charlton, and she's going to be a star.
Yeah, it's just an interesting time. Mate, just quickly, because we've got to wrap it up. Biggest problems facing the AFL at the moment, other than some of the rule changes, have been the high hits, the concussions, and those protocols in place for the Southern Footy League, same as the AFL, or do they differ? Very
similar. We have a situation where if someone's concussed, they have to go back through their head trainer, who will insist on a medical clearance from a doctor, and they miss at least 1 week.
Okay. It's a pretty interesting time. We're going to have a chat about that a little bit later in the show. I've got a couple of things I want to pose at you, mate. And maybe when Robbie Neal's on, no one got concussed more than Robbie or gave more concussions. Anyway, we need to get to a break. Stay with us. Still plenty to come on the show.